Here we are, spawning in the bottom left, in the blue, representing Kaizi Gaming, and of course, BeoMulf. He is Solar. And his opponent in the upper right, the fashionable man representing the Army Reserve and the Afrika Freaks, he is Armani. And Zeiss putting a lot of pressure on me. I know Alpha X or Creighton Olsen was able to make that happen once. I would love to do that if that was an opportunity again, but I do not have those connections. I am doing this broadcast because of the connections that Alpha X has with Afrika TV. So if I was able to make it happen, I would absolutely love to at least cover the qualifying matches or something. Do the greatest hits, but who knows whether that is possible or not. Yes, well, okay, here's the thing, Natsu. Dream theoretically plays today, because, of course, this is Dream Armani Ryung versus Solar, Nightmare, and Ragnarok. Army Reserve versus BeoMulf. But it's a all-kill format. Yes, it's best of 7, so an all-kill would be 4 maps, not 3, and there is 1 reserve possible, but if Armani just decides to get 4 map wins, we don't get to see Dream at all. So, that is that. Well, that is that. That is unfortunate. It was a special one-off. I guess maybe the players got mad or something. Not really sure, but anyway. We got a game in here. Both players going for something a little bit, I'm not going to say greedier, because this is kind of the meta of ZVZ at the moment. But we're not going to see any 2-base timing, not yet. But what we got to look at here is this is, of course, ZVZs. We got a little bit of fight going on. Armani going to take the better trade of things. And actually, Solar will not lose that Zergling. He's going to be fine. We'll find the nice, friendly confines of his friendly queen eventually. But actually, no, he's just going to loop around here, try to see whether he can maybe get some scouting on in. But anyway, the first thing we're looking at is this 27-28. Drone count that you do see, because this is kind of the first well, actually one of the the third or fourth inflection point, but the next inflection point we're looking at, because that is the timing where you occasionally see Zerg players go on and flood massive amounts of Zerglings, go up to 20-30 Zerglings, try to get some aggression in there, maybe cancel a third base. But we're gonna have to see. It's not as common anymore, because a lot of players just kind of respect this idea that their opponent is able to hold anything they throw at them. So why waste them? Why waste the potential drones? Just drone up yourself. And that being said, Evo Chamber on the way for both sides here. We have not really seen any sort of commitment to anything, but it does look like here Armani, he's going to lean into aggression just a little bit, morphing one Baneling, sending his Zerglings across the map. But it's really, this is not a big commitment. Notice he is droning behind this. Though he will get 1 drone at the third base already, and this Baneling's just going to serve to zone things up. But with the 3 queens here, it's going to be a little fine. Don't worry, Natsu. We appreciate you here anyways. But, oh, look at this. The Armani will get a Zergling on into the main base. Getting a full scat off. Sees just the exact timing that Roach Gordon goes down. And also sees that there is no lair on the way. Now, of course, Armani does have a lair on the way here. He is more interested in getting on into the mid game. But Solar, now he's got a lair on the way. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just like, oh, yes, he's going for some sort of +1 Roach timing. But that is not the case here. Now, Zerglings of Solar will stream on in, and we're getting into that little bit of a knife fight stage, but this is not nearly as a big thing as you would see earlier. But actually a couple more Zerglings are going to stream across the map here. Baneling's, of course, getting morphed, but not really going to get a whole lot here. Oh, 2 queens will go down immediately. Armani not really looking to spend the transfuse energy for whatever reason, as he probably could have saved that. But 3 queens are going to go to, oh, that Baneling shot, though. So that does now mean that Solar does have a wonderful opportunity here to get tons of damage done now. Oh, actually, he will commit the Baneling to kill off some of the workers. But it's only going to be 5 workers, as Solar will eat one of the Baneling shots on his own. But 7 workers do go down, as well as 3 queens. And the 3 queens dying is the big thing. That is 3 queens less of larva. That is 3 queens less of creep spread. 3 queens less of defensive potential. But now, of course, Baneling's getting morphed on in here. But now roaches are moving across the map. Armani going with a counter all in here. And Solar, he is just hoping that he is not droned too hard on the defensive. So this is, of course, 5 gas. He is mining gas from the 3rd base. And that does mean that he, of course, wants to get in the late game a little bit more, but he will have to survive here. Roaches, of course, on the way. He does have roach speed on the way as well. 10 roaches are in the production tab here for Solar, and actually he should be totally fine. 40 army supply to the 24. Banelings are going to come crashing on in here, but it's going to get nothing done. Okay, 2 workers go down, but that is not the end of the world, and now Armani forced to drone on up again, but droning on up from a disadvantage. Yes, he is equalizing that worker count just slightly. 52 army supply, or 52 workers to 55. But 49, 50 army supply to 23. Solar took no damage from the ensuing exchange. He never lost his ability to inject properly. And now he is going to have this powerful timing where he's going to have roach speed. And look at this. He is not starting +2. He says, I don't need this. I'm going to be able to move across the map with my +1. With my roach speed. With my massive amounts of roaches. And just absolutely end this game. Now, whether that is going to be true is a different question, but Armani is well aware of the threat that he is dealing with here, as we see 4 spines go down. But, okay, those spines actually will be able to complete in time, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for Armani here, as he only has 3 queens on the map. And look at this, the Zerglings looking for that counterattack will be caught on out here. So roaches, they're going to come streaming on in, and actually +2 is going to be on the way, just going to be slightly delayed here. So we're going to see the spine number 1 will get targeted down immediately. Spines at the back end are going to get something done here, but queens, they're going to get targeted down as well, which means these spines do not last nearly as long. But look at the Zergling surround coming on in from behind here. Maybe this is going to be enough here for Armani to hold, but no. Solar, he's just going to back up just a little bit, up 20 army supplies still, and I think he has some Ravagers coming on in with this army as well. But of course, he has to be a little bit careful. He has to wait for his army to actually come on in to reinforce this initial push here. But there we go. We will have the spine get slowly, ever so slowly targeted down. But actually, Armani will be able to hold. But of course, behind this, Solar, he's droning hard once again. He has a 4th base done here, and he's going to be able to saturate that. But it's going to be a Spire tech coming on in from Armani. And that's going to be a fantastic position to equalize the game here. Because, well, if his opponent just sits on Roach tech, and honestly, only 3-4 queens on the map, that is a relatively significant problem. If we get 10 mutas coming out on the map here, and there is no muta defense, suddenly the army supply, or suddenly the economy of Solar will absolutely get ravaged. Welcome to YTUA fan. Yeah, there's so much StarCraft going on. Also, the ESL Open Cup Korea happening right now. But anyway, yes, we do have the Spire on the way. Actually, it has been, as of yet, unscouted. Why are we killing the Baneling nest? I don't think Armani meant to do that. It's not going to make a difference at the end of the day, but I do not believe Armani meant to kill his own Baneling nest. Anyway, Spire just about done, but Solar, now we are seeing once again his massive army supply lead. Now, he's probably going to wait for +2 to come on in here. But he will be able to cancel the 4th base anyways, as there we go. The entire army of Solar getting on top of this. And yeah, he's going to have to make sure that he does not take any bile shots. And he's going to tank 1, but he is up +30 army supply. 8 meters are on the way. But that is army supply that's not going to be actually anything on the ground here. The roaches, they're going to get on top of this whatsoever. Notice Solar, he's microing on in to try to get on top of these Ravagers ASAP, and he will not be able to do so quite yet. But nice splits here. Mutas, they're sitting on top of things, do what they can to make the hold, but it does not look like it will really matter. Here's the army of Solar is falling down. A 40 army supply lead now from Solar here. Roaches will start streaming on into the different bases here, and yes, will the Mutas be able to eventually clean this up? Most likely, but we do have Hydras on the way. Roaches getting on top of the middle line, getting on top of this 3rd base, getting on top of the rallying Roaches here. And it does not look like it looks like Armani's absolutely just going to take game-ending damage, because that is the story we're looking at. Not whether the mutas are going to be powerful, and they are, but whether Armani is going to be slapped back into the Stone Age. But that being said, Solar really not able to get on top of the 3rd base, get on top of the drone count, anything like that. So the muta's actually standing strong here, and Armani, the damage he's taking is not really snowballing. as of yet. But of course, the roaches have been, or excuse me, the drones have been forced to be pulled off the third base. The third base will get targeted down, and we have 10 Hydras on the way. That is the big story here. With the Hydras coming out, the mutants will not be able to fight, and suddenly, ever so suddenly, Solar will have that better army. I'm not exactly sure why he killed the Bane Den. I'm not exactly sure why he killed the Baneling Nest. Now, the one benefit here that Armani has for himself is he is going to take that mutant tax in spades. So many Overlords going on down here. But of course, we have +1 armor just about done. Hydras, 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 and more Hydras will be the name of the game here. And we're just going to wait for Solar to max out once again, because remember, he is up 9 workers. He is up in tech. His army is going to fight that much better. But of course, the mutants, they are just looking for any sort of damage they can get. But of course, with 4 spores on the map, mutants won't be able to get too much done. But of course, Overlord. Oh, this is a massive pack of Overlords here that they're going to try to get. But with the Queens and the Hydras, well, actually, Solar doesn't care. He's just going to move across the map with this Roach Hydra force. But the Bile Dark's going to be really nice. And I worry that Solar, even as he's getting damage done, absolutely, I worry that maybe he's trying a little bit too hard to end the game. As of course, he does not have Hydra speed, which means, well, it's hard to split against Biles without Hydra speed, and it will be a Lurker Den. That is the tech of choice here. Now, Armani going for a rather interesting move in this game. He's committed to the mutants, but he's not really going to do much more with this outside of just, you know, trying to get some eco damage done. But oh, look at this surround here. But I worry that maybe Solar split out things a little bit too hard. But now we got the full surround coming in, and Biles are going to land, but not too much. The 4th base will get targeted down. Queen's going to go down immediately as well. And this is Solar just continuing to cement his advantage. But oh, a little bit of Roach counterattack on the right-hand side. And this 4th base, actually, we're going to have to see the rally get a little bit more done here. Because the 3rd base of Solar is now under threat, but now the Roaches, the Hydras getting on top of things, and Hydras, Hydra Printer go burr, Hydra DPS go burr here, and with no Roaches here to really buffer things. The Roach Ravager force of Armani not going to be all that powerful, but Armani doing a damn good job of making this hold, and with the reinforcements, actually will be able to make this hold happen once again. Meanwhile, the 3rd base of Solar is going down, and Armani, is he making this work? Armani, my goodness, making a fight happen that really is realistically should not happen here. Now we have, of course, the Knight is coming on in. Solar, he's not in position. Solar, not even aware of things. Is Armani going to take this game? Yeah, the entire army of Armani is in this. Nidus is going to come streaming on into the main base, which means the Hydra Den is going to get targeted down immediately, and he's going to take possession of the ramp here. That means the army here of Solar is going to have to stream on through multiple Biles, but no, he's not going to get there just in time. And now the army of Solar is going to try to come on in here, but is there enough? The army of Solar, for the first time in this game, is not a massive supply lead. That being said, though, Solar will be able to get the full-on surround, but Roaches will take this fight, this 3rd base once again. Hydra going on down, but the Hydra Den never died, and the 4th base is going to get canceled here. This game is getting scrappy as hell. All right, so 3-base Zerg versus 3-base Zerg. Roach Hydra Lurker versus Roach Ravager. I think I like Solar's army a little bit more, and he is up in army supply just a little bit, despite everything that's gone on, as he, just for the first time in this game, is at a worker deficit. But his economy has been absolutely massive for the majority of this game. Now, of course, 1 mutant still exists on the map here, which means that, well, he can deny, that Armani can deny scouting just a little bit, ever so slowly. But we're going to see Solar here say, look, we've punched and counterpunched, punched and counterpunched. It's been a fun time, but I don't have a 4th base. You don't have a 4th base. We're both broke as a joke. It's now time for us to stabilize here. Get our 4th bases up, get myself on into Hive, get myself those Lurker upgrades that are ever so powerful. But Solar, Armani, not at all interested in that. Knight is coming on up in the main base right next to the infestation pit, right into everything else. Meanwhile, this is a fake. This is so cool. Look at this. Armani, he's going to try to find his way on into this 4th base. And, of course, the whole point of the Nidus is not to actually get any damage done. The point of it is to force Solar out of position. But no, Solar's not going to fall forward here. And the Roaches, they're going to show up. But, oh, with 3 Lurkers here, they're going to absolutely shred this Roach force. And Solar, he's going to take that army supply lead once again. Alright, so now we got a hive halfway done here. More and more Lurkers on the way. But Armani, he's going for Roach Burrow. That's going to be the name of the game here, as he looks to really just pick Solar apart, as he has been able to do. And that's been the only thing that has kept him in this game. But now both Solar, Armani, they have their four bases. They have not really 4-base economy, because main base is mining out, natural is mining out, third base is actually mining out as well. But they have something, both at 56, 58 workers. But now Armani, he has his Lurker Den on the way. But now the hive is done. Of course, no Lurker upgrades as of yet, and actually it looks like it will be Lurker Burrow will be the first upgrade here, instead of high seismic spines. Oh, okay, there we go. This 5th base will just go down here from Solar. Meanwhile, we have a massive Burrow Roach counterattack coming on into this 3rd base. Now, we'll get scouted, but Queen's going to get assassinated immediately. And there's not a whole lot of army here to defend as of yet. Now we do have, of course, Nidus coming on down, and Armani is going to look to target down this Lurker Den before the upgrade does complete. But it looks like we don't exactly have any better targeting here. The Lurker Den, though, is it going to go down? Is it going to get targeted down? It will. Adaptive Talons will be denied. Lurkers, though, will be able to keep themselves alive. And we do have 13 Lurkers on the map. But what this does mean, with the Lurker Den done for both sides, Armani will have actually a Lurker upgrade advantage compared to his opponent now. And he has Vipers on the way. This is not something that Solar has been able to afford. But now Solar, he has a 50 army supply lead. He has Lurkers done now. So he's now going to look to go on in here and try to take advantage of that timing, of that supply lead that he does have. Lurker, they're all just going to burrow here. And yeah, there's a Lurker, but he's just going to get on top of things immediately. Spore is not going to last all that long. But please, you got to kill the Spore. There we go. Lurkers are dying. And now the Lurkers of Solar, they're going to push on forward. Now, Seismic Spine is just about done. And this is still a difficult army to attack on into. But Solar, he's just looking to leverage his superior supply. Nice Blinding Clouds will prevent 2 of the Lurkers in the back line from getting too much done here, but they're just going to reposition. Of course, now with the Biles, that is a will force a reposition on in once again, but Lurkers are going to keep going on down here. And Solar, he has a 40 army spell. The 4th base does go down. Now we have Vipers on the way, though. And this Muta does need to be dealt with. But now, of course, with the Vipers on out, Abducts will be a thing. Armani, he's going to be able to force Solar back, but once again, he loses his 4th base. Fourth base of Solar mining at 16 out of 8. Both players not mining any significant amounts here. Not really. But now Seismic Spine's on the way. +3 on the way. Nice Roach counterattack here. 6 workers will go down. I don't think they'll get that. Yeah, they're not going to try to get the 3rd base. But this is kind of the point where you need to start just having Lurkers everywhere. Keep 3 Lurkers at your 3rd base. Keep 3 Lurkers at your 4th. So it does mean that with Roach counterattacks everywhere, it's not really going to be able to get a whole hell of a lot done. But now, of course, Solar, he does have his 5th base done here. And actually, all the drones from the 4th base are going to be pulled on over to the 5th. And Solar's, he's aware of the shenanigans now. He's like, okay, let's put a Spore on up here. Now, Roaches will pop up on up once again, but Seismic Spines are now done. But Solar, did he cancel? Yeah, okay, Solar canceled his +3. Interesting. But now +3 on the way here for Armani. We have Adaptive Talons as well. And now we have, with 4 Vipers on the map here for Solar, only 2 for Armani. We're gonna look to see exactly whether Armani is able to get the Abducts onto his, we're able to get the Abducts onto the Vipers here, maybe kill those off before anything happens. But now the Roach counterattack, trying to get something done again. 4 more workers will go down with the Lurker here defensively. It's going to be fine. That one last Roach not going to get a whole lot done. But 4 more workers do go down. Solar, though, he's mining just a little bit more for the time being. As I say, that's not really the case. But anyway, with his 5th base on up, we'll be able to mine just a little bit more. Now, Adaptive Talons are done, and this is not an upgrade that Armani ever got. He has Seismic Spines, yes, but he does not really have the gas for Adaptive Talons until just now. The one thing for him, though, is because he has lost his 4 base so many times, now he's able to actually mine from it. He is able to mine fully efficiently from just a little bit longer. It's going to go down to 14 rather soon. But now with 4 full energy Vipers here on the map, Solar, he is up 50 total supply, and all of that is in Army. So, of course, Armani here with these, with a couple lurkers here on the right-hand side, it's going to be a rather difficult position for Solar to attack on into, but that's not what he's doing here. He's saying, okay, look, I know you have to get something more done. You need to be able to expand again, so I'm just going to deny that. And now, well, we're going to see a bunch of Vipers get abducted here. 2 lurkers getting abducted immediately. Vipers are still going to stay alive, and this is going to provide Solar a little bit of an avenue to attack on into. Another lurker will go down as well. Now this gives him a little bit of room here to get on in, but look at the abducts. All of the Vipers here will get on abducted, and that is going to be such a massive trade for Solar. Now 1 lurker is still here, or excuse me, 1 Viper is still here. And Armani not taking the best trade because he just does not have the money that he needs to make that happen. Solar now with a 70 army supply lead. And man, this is not what I was expecting from game number 1, but I am absolutely here for it. 22 minutes on in, Solar in a dominant position, but not really able to break his opponent quite yet. And look at that, we're just seeing abducts on observers. That's how this Hydra Lurker Viper game is played. You're just trying to get incremental advantages. Who can abduct the Vipers faster? Who can abduct the Lurkers faster? Who can abduct the Overseers, which means that there is less of a siege position. But now we're gonna see a lurker come on into the 3rd base, and that, well, there's actually not enough detection here. Roaches are gonna get on top of this lurker, but with the transfuse, it's not gonna go down. Lurker gonna go down as well. Solar, he's not gonna take the best trade there, but again, he now is able to build a bank. He is able to take this 6th base when his opponent is only on 4, and yes, there is a counterattack, but Solar, he's up 51 workers to 39, and it's getting a little bit dicey for the fashionable man from the Army Reserve. Alright, but now we do have, of course, a massive concave here from Solar. The blinding clouds will deny any of these lurkers from getting good fights off. And now lurkers are going to get on abducted here, but you got to actually kill them, Solar. But there we go. Lurkers getting targeted down, abducted here, and now with only 1 lurker here, that's not going to be enough. GG! Solar is going to take game number 1. Rock BeoMulf, 1 game on the pathway to facing 3AB in the finals. Now we're going to have to see who of Dream and Ryung will come on up next. Probably Dream, you got to imagine. But who the hell knows? Ryung has had some good games as well. And of course, it should be remembered that 1 revive is available. So if the Army Reserve thinks that their best chance of winning this game is having Armani play again... Actually, wait. So the rules say 1 revive. 1 revive per team, but they don't specify whether that revive has to be after everyone is dead. But it will be Ryung coming on up next. All right, that's going to be the name of the game here. Ryung is going to go now and take his hand at trying to kill off Solar. But Solar has looked damn good in the matchup rather recently. I mean, he almost beat Maru. And if not for that nuke, that 40-minute nuke that absolutely just ruined him in the Death Aura game as well. He was just too mentally shattered. Well, he would have beaten Maru in game number 1, and who knows how it goes from there. But we do have game number 2 loaded on up here. Solar rocking that 1 kill streak thus far. Let's get on into things. Here we are, spawning in the bottom right. In the blue, he is representing Kaiser Gaming and Rock BeoMulf. He is Solar. And his opponent in the upper left, in the red, representing the Army Reserve and Team GP, he is Ryung. And interestingly enough, we actually do see a standard game come on up from Ryung here, and this surprises me for several reasons. First and foremost is the fact that that Ryung in the games that I've cast of him recently has shown a penchant for a little bit more aggressive play, but more importantly is the fact that Solar has shown a little bit of weakness dealing with 2 Raxes on this particular map recently, but also you got to remember here, in that game, Solar was had just lost a 40-minute game when he got his entire army nuked. So it's a little bit more of a actual mentally shattered situation than it was a wow, 2 Raxes are too strong against Solar. But we're going to have to see exactly what Ryung has planned on in here. For the moment, it's just a Reaper expand. Solar, of course, he's going to take his third base at somewhere around 32 supply, 28 supply. And there we go. It's already on the way here. But neither player really showing too much intentionality as of yet. We haven't really seen any ideas get thrown down. It's going to be 1-1 behind this for Ryung. Of course, Solar, he's got that 28 hatch. So from there, well, everything is pretty standard. Now, of course, we're going to have to see whether the Reaper gets anything done here. The math says that you get 4 Zerglings, you kind of expect to lose 1. You get 6, you don't expect to lose any. So Ryung may be able to get 1 Zergling here. But actually, no, Solar's actually doing a really good job playing with the high ground and the low ground with these Zerglings. We'll be able to make sure that nothing happens. And now with the Queens on out, the time of anything dying to this Reaper is just about over. Maybe he's going to get a Creep Tumor, but most likely not here. So look at this. The Queen is already here. And actually, no, the Reaper will be able to get... No, it won't. Okay, that was a fantastic Reaper grenade positioning, though, as it bounced the Queen and did damage to the Creep Tumor. Fortunately, Ryung got there a little bit too late. Now, well, Creep Spread is on the way. Of course, this is a 1-1-1 opener coming in from Ryung. Starport is on the way. Hellions are on the way. Now, we don't see a second gas, and it is just going to be a third Command Center opener coming on in from the Team GP Terraners. Now, the Reaper actually will get a nice follow-up scout here, and Solar is playing this style that he's been making actually popular here, where he gets a little bit delayed gas. He rallies his drones on into gas instead of moving them on in from the mineral patch, and that does mean that he gets his speed at 4 minutes instead of 3:30. But in the context of a TVZ, you don't really need speed at 3:30. Yeah, maybe it shoots the Reaper away a little bit earlier, but yeah, it's not really all that important. And Solar showing how confident he is in the matchup, going for Overlord speed behind this. But oh man, look at this. We got something a little bit spicy coming on in from Solar in this game number 2. Second Factory will be the name of the game here. Now, this is a couple different options. Now we have Overlord speed, so this is going to get scouted, but we don't know exact... Okay, actually, no, this is going to be a Blue Flame opener coming in here from Ryung, as we do see the Tech Lab coming on down from the barracks here. And this is something that we've seen players like Innovation, players like Beyond experiment with more and more over the last... Oh, no, never mind. That is going to be Stim. Okay. I have no idea what this is now. Second barracks is very weird. But look at this Zergling. Oh, Zergling finds its way on into the main base. Okay, so Solar does see everything. He sees the Tech Lab researching on the barracks, and he does see a second Tech Lab coming on in. But now we're going to have 3 barracks, 2 factories. Is this just like mass Widowmine production with fast drilling claws? But what in the world is this build coming on in from Ryung? Now, Roaches will be the tech path of choice here from Solar. Will be allow him to be defensive, but also, well, if he wants to, get a little bit aggressive here. Now, we don't see Evo Chambers just coming on in yet, so 1-1 is going to be a little bit slow. Is Solar actually... No, Solar's just going for a big attack. Okay, that makes sense. Like, look, if you're going to go for something weird, Ryung, I'm just going to punish you for it, right? This is one of those things that separates the good players from the great players. is that with the good players, yeah, they're gonna play solid builds or whatever, but the great players kind of understand exactly what their timings are. And if their opponent's trying to do something weird to catch them off guard, that maybe being a little bit greedy about it, you just go across the map and kill them. And now it's 66 army supply, 229. Now the Zerglings have to be a little bit careful. They don't want to lose their lives to 4 Hellions, but now the wall is going to go on down. Zerglings, they're going to stream out. They're going to wait actually a little bit for the Roaches to get on in here. Third base is up. And what do we have? We have these factories are not getting used. I don't even know what the second factory from Ryung is for, but it's not going to matter here. Now, of course, Hellions here on the high ground, 18 workers have died immediately. And it looks like, of course, Hellions are going to dive on into the natural, but the drones are going to get pulled immediately. And now the Roaches on the low ground getting so much done. The third base, Ryung, you got to lift it. Ryung's just going to lose his third base. Oh, no, Ryung. I would have loved to see what that build was for, but it looks like we're not going to see it here. Now, Tank will eventually come on out here, but Zerglings will be on top of things as well. Of course, the Hellions, they're getting targeted down. Marine's getting targeted down. Everything's getting targeted down here. GG. Solar, he's going to take game number 2. He's got a 2-kill streak going on in here. And what in the world was that build from Solar? I have no idea. I would love for someone to educate me, but I don't know what that build was. I'm sure there was a reason behind it, but you went Solar went Ryung went 2 factories, and then he didn't use them, but he went for a Hellion drop. I don't know. That was a bit weird. But what it does mean is now Solar, he found his time, and he has a 2-kill streak going on in here, and he's gonna have to fight and beat Dream next. All right, so now it's going to be Solar versus Dream on Submarine. That will be our 3rd map of this best of 7. Until maybe we will see we see a revive here. Looking right now, assuming that Solar gets this kill, which who knows? I certainly don't know. But assuming he gets that kill, it's got to be Armani, right? Armani looked the best against Solar in this series, although, I mean, at the end of the day, Solar did look damn good against Armani. Solar, he just got a little bit too aggressive, but well, that's putting the cart before the horse here. We do have game 3. It is all loaded on up. Let's get into things. And here we are spawning in the bottom right in the blue on a 2-kill streak, the captain of Rock BeoMulf. He is Solar. And his opponent in the upper left in the red. For the Army Reserve, he is Dream. Of course, we do have Dream coming on up here. This game number 3, and you know, this is, if there is going to be a map that Solar's going to lose with how damn fine he looks right now, it is going to be on this one. Submarine, universally recognized as like the worst ZVT map because of just how short the rally is. It's so hard to hold these 8 racks plays that the Terran likes to go for. Well, even honestly, even a 5 rack with a 4th command center, it's still hard to hold just because of how quick the rally is. You got to take perfect fights, or just the rally push will snowball on in. That being said, though, Solar, he may have something a little bit fancy planned, as well, we saw Roaches happen last game against Ryung. Now, I don't know if he plays Roaches 2 games in a row, but that was kind of a Roach all-in when he saw that, okay, Ryung, you're doing something weird, you're getting 2 factories, you're just not going to have what you need, yeah, I'm just going to kill you. But now Reaper will find its way onto the map here. 1-1-1 opening coming on up from Dream. And I do expect Dream to put a little bit better showing than Ryung did. Unfortunately, Ryung, he's been looking better on his way back from the military, but has not looked quite as good as you would hope quite yet, but now the Reaper's going to try to get on in here, not going to get anything done. Although we're playing Ring Around Rosier on the mineral line. So yeah, already we're seeing Dream, he just looks a little bit better here. His Reaper control looks just a little bit better. And I don't think he's going to try to do anything as weird as double factory and not use it with a third command center. So we're going to have to see exactly what he opts to go for here. We do have a second gas on the way already here for Dream, as he does have a starport on the way as well. So this means it's most likely going to be some sort of Hellbat timing. But the Reaper, oh, Reaper's going to jump up, not exactly jumping back down in time. Reaper will go down, and that just removes a little bit of map control here from our red Terran player. But really what we're looking at here is what exactly is Dream going to go for? Is it going to be Reaper, or is it going to be Hellbats? Is it going to be Banshees? Is it going to be some sort of Hellbat Banshee timing? Not exactly sure as of yet, but of course, with that second guess, it does imply some sort of little bit more of a tech path here. And actually, it looks like it may be Banshees, just looking at the fact that Tech Lab is coming on down. There we go, yeah. It will be a Banshee play at the very least. And of course, Banshees, it's not any sort of all-in push. You don't have to get tons of damage done. It's just a way to establish map control, to force the Queens to be out on the map a little bit more. Now, Solar does want to scout this, of course, because if the Banshee does get Cloak off and there are no spores in proper positioning, and actually, of course, you want to have 4 spores or a quick lair, one of the two. But now, of course, circling speed is done. Banshee tech will get on scouted here. And that should tell Solar, okay, yeah, I need to get some spores. Lair will be on the way. So Lair will be the tech path, or Lair will be the tech path of choice here, which means that Solar probably does not have to worry about getting 4 spores. It's only going to be 1 spore in each mineral line. But of course, you got to remember that, there we go, spores are now on the way. The Lair won't get done in time for the very beginning, but we'll get time in for the midpoint here. How many Hellions do we have? We only have 6 Hellions, so again, this is not a massive commitment here. And it's just going to be 2 Banshees. Of course, 2 Banshees do 1-tap drones. And Dream, well, he hasn't done anything too crazy yet. Of course, 2 more barracks are on the way. 3rd command center on the way here, as he just looks to get something done. And he's not done something crazy like double factory before stim, anything weird like that. So he's already looking a little bit better here. Stim, of course, now on the way. 2nd and 3rd factory on the way. 1-1 on the way as well with the 3rd command center. And I do like, again, he's going bio. I like this. This is actually one of the maps that Mech can work on relatively well just because of how few bases are on the map. So the Zerg runs out of an economic advantage just a little bit faster. But that's not going to be the case in this game. And now the Banshees are going to swoop around on the left-hand side. Now, the one thing that we got to ask about Solar here, once again, we don't have, never mind, maybe Butch Jammers on the way. 1-1 on the way as well. Do we have I thought we have a Baneling Nest, right? Yeah, we do, but no Baneling speed as of yet. Yeah, actually, he doesn't have the gas for it. Anyway. Now the Banshees will find this 3rd base. A couple more workers will go down. That should be really the end of it here. Actually, look at this. High ground vision. Banshees may take advantage of it. But now, of course, with the Overseer here, with the 4 Queens, Banshees should get shut down now. But Solar, you got to start your Baneling speed. That would be very... Solar really has to start his Baneling speed here. But, 1 Banshee is going to get targeted down. 2nd one in danger as well. But, the Overseer's not exactly in position. So, Banshee will be able to stay alive. And now Dream, I like this. Look at this. So, this is one of the benefits of the recent creep tumor nerf. Not recent anymore. Recent creep tumor nerf that made it light damage. So, it means the Hellions are able to clear it up a lot easier. And, of course, with the Queens having to spend so much time separating off, defending against the Banshees, that means that they're not going to be able to push creep nearly as much. And nice micro here from the Hellions as well. Zergling's not really able to get this round that they are looking for. But now Baneling speed, of course, on the way. But, of course, armor on the way as well. We will have 2-2. The game is progressing. Tanks will be the tech path of choice here because it is just Pureling Bane from Solar. Probably this means he wants to go into Lurkers. Traditionally, the Pureling Bane style meant that you went into fast Ultras, but not anymore. Not really. It's really a way to get into that a little bit faster Lurkers here. But now a bit of a stem bio force is going to find its way onto the edge of creep spread. Creep spread will get delayed just a little bit, as well as an Overlord. So, nice little move there. But, of course, Baneling speed, it's done in 20 seconds. And that is going to be the end of this push. But Solar, his creep spread is good, but it's not great. Not yet. And Dream actually is getting some decent damage done here with this, well, this little bit of a double drop coming on in here. Creep's getting delayed, and so many Overlords have died already. But of course, Solar, he has his 4th base just about done. 2-2 on the way as well, timed up just perfectly with the Terran. And now the first push coming on in here, but Solar, he's in a good position, and this is one of those styles that deals really well against these big pushes that come on in from the Terran. But of course, with the tank sieging on up here, a couple Hellbats, Solar does have to be careful, and because there has been so much pressure with these Hellions, with these Banshees, he's not really been able to knock out any of the rocks, and that does make this fight a little bit more difficult to take. So now with the creep spread being removed just a little bit, Marines are going to go on forward. And of course, okay, now we have Hydra Den done, Infestation Pit on the way. Banelings, they're going to look for a connection, but really not really people to get a whole lot done here. But now a massive Zergling Baneling counterattack coming on into the 3rd base. Wall's going to just go get busted down immediately here. And this is actually just not enough army. Tank's going to siege up, but who the hell cares? It's just going to get targeted down immediately. Baneling's getting all the army. And yes, are we going to see massive worker damage done? Not yet. Another tank. Oh, he's going to lose another tank as well. And this is massive. Yeah, we're not losing tons and tons of SCVs. As of... Oh, the tank actually going to get saved. Nice play there from Dream. But now with this emplacement here on the map here, Solar's not going to be able to clean it up. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. Solar, I thought he was going to be able to do that. But he did force the army back. He killed a decent amount of the army here of Dream, and he got a tank. Now we have a Lurker Den on the way as we have a flank here getting set up from Solar. Because realistically, you never want to take a straight-up one-directional fight here against the army of Dream. That's just not how it works. Actually, yeah, no, Solar, he's not even trying to take a fight. He's just going for a massive counterattack, I think. Nope, never mind. He's not really committing to that as of yet. But of course, this is just a 5-Rax. It's not an 8-Rax. Dream does have his 4th base on the way. Of course, Solar, he's got his 5th base on the way as well. Now, this is a fantastic tank position. Queens are going to take some damage here, as well as a couple more Banelings. But we got a big flank coming on in here. Banelings are going to crash on into the Marines that are defending these tanks, which means the tanks. Zerglings are going to be able to kill them off. And what a fantastic cleanup here from the blue Zerg player. Of course, Hive is now done. Now, the 5th base will... Actually, was that killed? 5th base canceled there. And now the drop's going to go on into the natural here. So... Dream getting a little bit of damage done, but now we have Seismic Spines on the way, Vipers on the way, Hydras on the way, and Solar, he's in a fantastic position to hold now. He's held pretty well thus far, and now he has Hydras on the way. He's going to have Vipers on the way rather soon, Adrenal Glands on the way as well. And yes, does he have the gas to get full 3-3 upgrades? Not yet, but he is rapidly getting there. His upgrades are in a fantastic position. And he only just now needs to be able to take this 5th base. Now, the drop is going to be a little bit of thorn in his side. But he's actually rapidly getting to that position where, well, Vipers are just... Or Lurkers are just so damn powerful. 2 Lurkers are on the way. Seismic Spines is done in 8 seconds. And that's going to make it so much more difficult for Dream to attack on in here, as he only has 5 tanks. And I think a decent amount of them are on the defensive as well. Now, we have Liberators on the way here. And this one drop here from Dream is just being a pain in the side of our blue Zerg player, and there he's going to pick off once again. Oh, but there we go. We have an Abduct on top of the tanks. Only 1 tank remains. And now with the Lurkers here, yeah, there is not a scan here yet. Now this is actually going to be really nice. This drop is just being so damn powerful. As we do need to see some Zerglings just kind of sitting there. Drones will get pulled on off. Zerglings trying to kill this off, but it's actually a really nice joke here. So 7 more workers do go down. And, oh, look at this. Dream is going to take the opportunity here to stim on in. 2 Lurkers will go down. Nice transfuse. The 1 Lurker will be able to stay alive. Banelings crashing on in. Tanks are going to get targeted down immediately. Zerglings get on top of this last tank. And, of course, with Crackling, it is such a powerful thing. And Adaptive Talons done now, which means the Lurkers can be aggressive, not just defensive. The Lurker is going to get... Oh, what a fantastic Baneling connection as well. Now, we have Liberators here. They're going to try to say something about this, but the Hydras are already starting to kill them off. 1 goes down. Lurker will be able to stay alive. 7 more drones here from Solar have died from this last... Okay, the Baneling's not even going to get it. But this drop is actually just getting so... These drops are getting so much damage done here. But now the tanks are going to siege on up here once again, as well as the Liberators. The Lurkers have to unburrow. And this game is getting rather hectic. This push, actually 2 tanks at a time here, is problematic. But Lurkers are just going to burrow on top of things. We're going to see Liberators get sieged up, but they will get abducted here, but they're not going down. And Dream, suddenly, he's broken Solar. GG, Solar. He will be denied the all-kill. And Dream... He's going to make it a 2-1 scoreline. here in this semifinals. What a game there from Dream. We're going to have to see who comes on next. Will it be Nightmare? Will it be Ragnarok? In game number 4. What a game there from Dream. It was really looking that Solar had the opportunity to do what he wanted. He got into Lurk Attack fairly easily. He got his 4th base up really quickly. He didn't really take any damage from any of the early aggression of Dream. And then those 2 drops of like 7 Marines each. One in the main base, one in the natural. Just absolutely shredded. Absolutely shredded, tore apart Solar there. He really was not able to deal with it properly. In part because of his Evo Chamber positions. The drop was just landing right behind the Evo Chambers. Zerglings couldn't get on top of things. And he just kept losing so much that he had to commit more and more to defending those drops that never went down. And then we saw the Liberator tank push find a way on in, and suddenly Solar just died. From a equal supply position, it was no longer the case. And now, who do we have? Who is going to be our second player? From Rock BeoMulf, it will be Nightmare. And Nightmare has had a fairly decent run thus far. Let me refresh myself. Of course, he lost to stats. And he lost to creator. Actually, has he won it? Never mind. Nightmare has not won a map this entire BJ Destruction Season 1. So we're going to have to see whether he can make that change happen here. Knock Dream out, forces the revive out of one of the players of Army Reserve. With that being said, we do have a game number 4. It's loaded on up. Nightmare versus Dream. Let's go. And spawning in the upper right in the blue, up 2 games to 1. The Protoss player from ENG representing Rock BeoMulf. He is Nightmare. And his opponent in the bottom left, in the red on a 1-kill streak thus far, knocking down the captain of Rock BeoMulf. He is Dream. So we're going to have to see just what Nightmare is going to go for in this game. Now, of course, we got to assume that the impetus, the imperative for is going to be on Nightmare in this game. Dream is just so damn solid. And Nightmare, just a little bit lower. He's always kind of been this B-teamer. Throughout the entirety of his career. He's had some good runs, but he's just never really shown that top 8 GSL level, that tournament winning caliber. And it's not to say he's bad, but he definitely the weakest member of Rock BeoMulf. And we're just going to have to see what he wants to go for. Now, we do see a 2-gas opener coming on in from Nightmare. He's telegraphing that he wants to do something aggressive here, denying the wall from Dream for the time being. But this is just really weird, actually. Will he let that? He's going to let that pylon complete. So he's going to deny the... He's going to deny the add-on for a good while here from Dream. But of course, it's just a cyber expand coming on in from Nightmare. Now he will move across the map with an adept, and that's what, at least that is what this that is what the shield battery is saying. But I don't really know what he's trying to get done. This is really weird. Now, is he hoping? Maybe he's hoping here that the wall will be down by the time that the adept finds a way on in. Actually, that will be at 100% the case. Yeah, the never mind. Starport will build the wall. So I guess that was the idea, where you time things out so you get the Adept across the map. Oh, actually, never mind. The Adept's going to find its way on in. Never mind. Okay, that means the starport will get delayed on in here. And now this is actually just going to be a full scout from Nightmare, which is not going to tell him a ton. Of course, 2 gas on in the main base, and it is a 1-1-1, but yeah, that's going to be just about it. But it will be a Phoenix opener coming on in here from Nightmare, and I very much expected to see him go and go for something really aggressive. Yeah, kind of cheese Dream out, but that's not going to be the case. And it will be, of course, Phoenix Colossus will be the tech path of choice here from Nightmare, as he will have to build a full wall with the number of Hellions that are on the map. 2 Hellions on the map, 3rd one on the way, so it will be a Hellion drop, but of course not a proxied Hellion drop. Yeah, starport is in the main base, and you know what's really good against Hellion drops, especially ones that have been kind of delayed? Wow. It is Phoenix play, as I'm not exactly sure what this Reaper's trying to do, but anyway, now the Reaper, well, now the Reaper will find its way on into the main base. We'll get targeted down though, but that does reveal the Phoenix. That maybe may convince Dream to do something a little bit different, but he has already committed to this deck, so might as well try to get something done. Alright, so there we go. We've Robo Bay now on the way. Forge as well, so Nightmare getting into his deck, and of course this is Phoenix Colossus, which means that his 3rd base is going to be a little bit slower than you would normally expect out of like a Blink opener. Oh, he's gonna miss the meta... Nightmare. He misses his medevac. Just barely out of vision there. But now we do have the Phoenix on the map. 4 Phoenix, 5th one is on the way, and we're gonna have to see what exactly Nightmare believes the magic number to be. Now, if you're a player like Stats, you go up to 8-9 Phoenix and you say, this is going to be great. But the traditional number is 5. Now we have the medevac. It's going to try to get some damage done here because, well, the Phoenix, they have now revealed themselves. Now, there is not a whole lot here to really defend these. The Marines can just get picked off, and suddenly that is a free mineral line. But now we have the drop coming on into the main base, and Nightmare, he has nothing in place to defend this. Not at all. So the Hellion is going to get dropped, and this is probably the latest Hellion drop I've ever seen. Recall will get forced, and we're just going to see so much go down because, of course, 3 Hellions do 1-tap. 3 Hellions do 1-tap a probe, but if actually, no, he's not going to get a whole lot done here. Now, the Adepts are going to be, the Depths and the Sentry will be able to keep this from the natural, from too much damage happening. 7, oh, actually, you know what? 10 workers go down, and this is worth it from Dream, even if it is a little bit late. But now more and more Phoenix in production. We have 7 Phoenix on the map now. Actually, only 6. Never mind. And is this... Okay, no. 3rd base is on the way. Or 3rd base is done, excuse me. Alright, so now the Phoenix will find a bunch of Marines. Actually, not even bothering with the economy here of Dream. He's saying, look, if I can just cut down on your army, that's going to be okay. It means I'm going to be able to survive this. And that's certainly a valid idea. Actually, I wish he'd gotten the medevac, but he was not able to. And I believe he lost 1 Phoenix as well. Yeah, he did, but lost Phoenix for for a decent amount of Marines. For 11 Marines, yeah, that's just about it. Which, honestly, actually, that was only 8 Marines for 1 Phoenix. Maybe that's not worth it. But anyway, now we have Charge on the way here. Phoenix will be able to cut off some of the rally. And, actually, now he's able to start getting a little bit of economic damage done. But this is one thing you got to remember with the Phoenix style. Phoenix are only as impactful as they have energy. So, when you spend all your energy earlier on killing off singular Marines, you can't do any damage. You can't do nearly as much damage to the Terran economy. That being said, of course, Charge, it is on the way. 4th base actually getting set up here for Nightmare rather quickly. And he is moving out of the Phoenix tech, right? We're going to have Templar Archives on the way. We're going to have Charge, Archon, Colossus will be the tech path of choice out of this. Maybe Storm, but I doubt it. Now, considering it is Phoenix play, maybe you're going to get Storm a little bit more likely. But, well, we're just going to have to see here. As, actually, with the Vikings here, 2 more Phoenix will go down. And you really don't want to lose these Phoenix before you take the main head-on army fight. Losing 1's fine because he still has 5. But going down to 3 is a little bit problematic. And Nightmare realizes this, adding back onto his Phoenix count. 4th one is now on the way. Alright, so this Templar Archives is just for Archons. And look at this. So Nightmare, he delayed his gas just a little bit. He's only on 4 gas, not 6. And Dream is just reading him like a book. He realizes that Nightmare probably doesn't want to go into the late game against Dream here, and that's probably a valid assessment. So Dream, he's just turtling up on the 3 bases. He's got, look, I got tanks, I have supply depots to make sure that I'm going to mess with your zealots. Oh, no, look at those feedbacks, actually. That's pretty cool. You're going to be able to feedback 2 of the ghosts, but not the 3rd. And actually, the Vikings will be able to knock the War Prism down. But anyway, with the supply depots here, we'll mess with the AI of the charge lots. Now, of course, we do have a Widowmine drop. It's going to show on up here on the upper left-hand side. And, well, with the cannons, this shouldn't get a ton done, but we're just going to see just how much. Yeah, Zealots will get warped on in here, which is maybe not the best idea, but Blink is not done, so whatever. And actually, there's no cannon in the natural, so this is actually where damage is going to get done here. Now, is he going to be quick enough with the lifts? He will, quick enough with lifts 1, 2, and 3. What a play there. Nice job there from Nightmare. There we go. Fantastic, fantastic hold there. And now Nightmare, he's on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, the Army of Dream is on the left, but Nightmare is backing on up. But actually, this is going to give Nightmare the fight he wants. Now there are 2 tanks only here that will be defensive, so Charizard will get on top of that immediately. Of course, he is down 1 upgrade, but the 3rd base is going to get broken here from Dream, and now we are in a base trade scenario. A base trade scenario when the Protoss has recall. So we're just going to have to see exactly how much damage Nightmare can get done before this happens. Now, he doesn't have a lot of Stalkers, which means, well, the command center's not really going to take all that much damage. So Nightmare, he's just going to back up, and this is not looking good for our Protoss player. He went for, of course, the base trade, but he really did not kill any command centers, and Dream does have 4 of them. Or actually, he does have 3 of them. But now the natural is going to go down. 41 workers have died. Now the Phoenix are going to have something to say about this hot pickup. But the Phoenix don't have a lot here. Now we're gonna the drop is gonna go down, which means medevacs are gonna start going down here with tons of army inside. And actually, this is just so big here for Nightmare. Now we will have the full drop coming on down, but Nightmare will be able to find this entire army of the Terran player. The medevacs are gonna go down, and yes, have 41 workers died for the Protoss player. Absolutely. But actually, a lot of medevacs have died, or a lot of the Phoenix have died as well. But now 82 army supply to the 49 of Dream. 4 bases to 1, of course. But if Nightmare can get across the map now, if he can get something done now, he absolutely is in a game that it's just a game that he can win, which is crazy because he is not mining. He is functionally not mining here. 400 in minerals a minute. Now, of course, the longer he waits, the worse for him it is going to be. But he's not aware of that base on the left-hand side. He's not aware of the base on the left-hand side, as that is a problem. And he doesn't have any detection. Oh, that Widowmine shot's going to be really big. So, actually, if Dream can pinpoint the fact that there's no detection here for the Terran player or for the Protoss player whatsoever, that is going to be a problem. Now, we will have a couple of Zealots. We'll find this 5th base of Dream. But now, we will have Zealots finding their way on in here. There's 2 more Widowmines, but the Colossus Blades are going to be fan-frickin-tastic, but that's not going to be anything whatsoever. Widowmines are going to be dominant here. It's 3-2 versus 2-0. Dream, he's got a 2-kill streak, and there is nothing that Nightmare can do. 26 supply total, only 1 army supply left on the map. Dream, he's going to take his 2nd kill. And now we're going to have Ragnarok coming up next. Nightmare, he had a good position, just maybe, but he had no detection. He did not know of the 4th base, and it was a 5-base Terran player against a 1-base Protoss. And Nightmare was just a little bit indecisive in that game. He went for the base trade, but did not commit to it, and did not have very little anti-air that could actually kill off command centers. So, well, when that happens, the command centers just lifted, and Nightmare was forced to go back, but it was kind of non-committal. He lost 3 Nexi, and it did not work out for him all that well. So it's going to be Ragnarok is going to be our next player. As it's going to be either Oxide or it's Oxide or Romanticide will be the maps of choice. And I'm actually not totally sure how the maps are chosen here. Actually, it's Lightshade. Wait. Yeah, okay, never mind. There are 3 maps available. What am I saying? We're only in game 5. So now we're going to have Ragnarok come on in here, do what he can to quell the momentum of Dream. Force a revive of some player. Honestly, with how good Dream has looked, it's probably going to be Dream. And go from there. But now, we'll load it on in to this game number 5. Both players on their final player of the first set. We're going to have to see who needs a revive, who starts another streak. So we get on in to game number 5. And spawning in the upper left, in the blue for Alpha X and Rock BeoMulf, he is Ragnarok. And his opponent in the bottom right on a 2-kill streak, looking dominant for Good Game Gaming and the Army Reserve. He is Dream. All right, so now we have another TBZ. Dream looked really good, and I would argue that Dream's best matchup is his TBZ. Now, having watched many of his games over the last several months, and he showed that against Solar. Solar has world-class ZVT, and Dream just smacked him aside. Now, this is not quite as Terran favorite of a map as Submarine is. So that's something Ragnarok is going to have in his favor. But Lightshade still, it's a fairly decent Terran map. It's a smaller map. It's kind of funny where this is one of the, when we first saw this map come out in the pool, this is one of the few maps that players like Maru and Clem would actually play mech on, and these are players that don't play mech. So maybe that's something that Dream is going to go on in here. Dream, to my mind, is a player that's a little bit more likely to play mech, but still very much a bio-heavy player. We're just going to have to see exactly what he wants to go for here. And Ragnarok, for his part, well, I don't think of him as this ZVT maven like Solar is, but certainly he's a powerful player, and we're gonna have to see whether he decides to go for any sort of roach play, because that, much like Dark, he does strike me as a he's kind of a roachy boy. He does like his Roach Ravager tech, but again, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see here. Is that Reaper once again forcing a little bit of a morph, and that's unfortunate. You kind of, when you go for this 6 Zergling style, you don't expect to have to do any other expenditure. You don't have to do any sort of Spore Morphs, anything like that. And actually, yeah, so he will not lose will not lose any Zerglings. The Reaper not going to be able to get much more done here. Now, of course, we have a starport on the way, as well as a 3rd command center, so Dream not doing anything aggressive too early in this game. And there we go, Roachborn on the way. Ragnarok, you're talking about how he's a Roach boy. Well, he's absolutely showing that here in this game. Now, I don't know. He's only on 34 workers right now, but okay, 5 more workers on the way. So this is not going to be your standard like 2 gas, 35 odd worker timing. Although that being said, it is 2 gas. Speed is done. Roachborn's going to be done soon. Only 1 Overlord on the way though, but he's a fairly big supply gap on up here. Well, okay, with that Overlord going down, 4 Roaches are getting built. Okay, actually, no, with the Roach count we're coming on in here, this absolutely is what it will be, that 37 drone, 35, 37 drone, 2 gas Roach Ravager timing, with speed, of course, behind this, so he will be able to reinforce. And Dream, actually, he's not in a good position to hold this. More and more Roaches on the way, of course, and Zergling is on the way behind this. And Dream, he does not have a tech lab on this starport, no tech lab on the factory. He is building more and more Hellions. He is building medevacs as he wants to go for some sort of a Hellion drop, Hellbat drop, something like that. But okay, the scan will reveal things, and we have bunkers on the way. But this is a late reaction. Now, of course, there we go. Now Tech Lab coming on in here on top of the factory, but now Ravager's on the way here. Now, the Reaper will find this immediately, but that's not going to get a whole lot done here. And we have a Hellion drop coming on into the main base. So as long as Ragnarok, or as long as Dream holds, he's actually going to be in a fantastic position because he's going to be able to get significant damage done on the other side of the map. Now, I don't think the second bunker completes. I mean, okay, actually, no, well, never mind. SCVs are going to get pulled to make sure that that happens. And now, well, 8 more workers are on the way, but look at this. 4 Hellions on in the main base. Line up those drones. We're going to have to see just how much damage gets done here. The Zerglings will be forced back, but 9 workers have died immediately. Now, of course, there is no mining here in the natural, but there are 3 bunkers, and Zerglings will get on top of things, but still 13 workers have died. No mining here from the main base. Ragnarok absolutely getting swatted aside. Now, Dream is supply blocked, and that is a problem, as he lost all of his supply depots in the wall. But now the Hellion drop's coming on up into the main base. Now, okay, the Queens will be able to get the medevac, but now okay, Hellions, they're not getting targeted down. More and more workers do go down. Now, the bunkers were they killed? 1 bunker was killed, but the other 2 were canceled. Now there's a Banshee out, as well as a tank. Marauder's on the way as well, and Dream is just, yeah, did he lose some workers? Sure. Dream lost 3 workers. Ragnarok has lost 19. Oh, man, what a play here from Dream. Absolute perfect hold. Now, he has a third, Ragnarok has Dream has a third base. He has what he needs to hold here. Stim is done. Combat shields are on the way. 3 more barracks are on the way. So we're going up to 5. Oh, man, Dream, he is in a dreamy position, and we're going to have to see the revive. I'm pretty, unless something happens here from Ragnarok. Unless Ragnarok is able to get something done that he was not able to get done with that initial timing, we're going to have to see Solar probably get revived really quickly in this series. Alright, so now 1-1 on the way, but of course, Dream's 1-1 is faster than Ragnarok's. So that's always a thing. I mean, granted, 1-1 Roaches versus 1-1 Bio, the Roaches are still generally better because they have that kind of supply buffer as well, but 2-2 versus 2-2, the Bio does tick up a little bit more just with how the upgrades work and how the armor on the Roaches and everything works. But now Dream, he's getting a little bit aggressive here. He has a couple Marauders, which already makes this army a little bit better against the pure Roach army that Ragnarok has gone for. Ragnarok has been able to rebuild his economy. And look at oh, this is pretty cool. So I think we're going to see Hydrogen come down sooner rather than later. And Ragnarok, yeah, he took a lot of damage, but I think we're going to see him try to play the Dark style that Dark has been doing in some games. Oh, look at this one. This poor Roach. Yeah, not exactly sure what that's doing there. But anyway, this Dark style, where you go 1-1 Roach, and you go into a lair really quickly, and you get really quick lurkers, but you have better lurker upgrades than you would normally. So it's a pretty cool style. I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. It may just be for quick Vipers, but there we go, Hydrogen on the way. And this is actually, it seems really powerful. I've only seen it lose, but it doesn't feel like I've seen it lose because of the style. I think I've seen it more lose because, well, in the late game, things eventually snowballed. the Terran player was able to drop his way to victory after we got to that Hydra Lurker Viper stage. So that's not really an indictment on this style. Now we will have a Ravager get targeted down immediately. That's going to be really nice. 2-2 on the way here for Dream. Again, he's not missing a beat, so he will have that 2-2 versus 1-1 timing for a little bit. Now we have Hive on the way, Lurkerden on the way, and Ragnarok, he's just going to look to play defensively here, stave off any bit of aggression from Dream, and go from there. But there are not enough Roaches here to make this happen. All the Zerglings getting targeted down. Roaches as well. Of course, it's 1-1 Stim Bio, but now with the Queens here, yeah, this and the more Roaches coming on in, this should be okay. But look at this, the Marines, they're just targeting down these Roaches one by one. Now they're going to get back up. Six Marines, 4, actually, no, that was 9 Marines. 4 all those Roaches, yeah, good trade there from Dream. And Ragnarok, despite going Roaches, he's not at a supply lead, not at all. Dream now is 4th base on the way. Planetary will be the case. And, well, we don't have double factory yet. Only 3 more additional barracks getting added on in, but this is still a lot of tanks. 5 tanks on the map here. And Ragnarok, I think he's just going to try to hit this 2-2 timing and kill his opponent before he can really get on into what he wants to. Actually, no, he's not even going to wait for 2-2. As Dream, he's moving on out here. 187 army, or 189, just about maxed out here for Dream. Ragnarok on similar supply counts, but when you're looking at that, that is not what you're looking for because, well, again, Roaches are supply dense, so you want to have a lot more of them than the bio of the Terran players. Now the Queens are going to look to remove this drop, but that's not going to happen. Actually, Transfuses are not in position. Now there are a bunch of Lurkers here, but the tanks they're going to siege them up. Seismic Spines is not done, and actually the bio's just going to maybe still on. Do we have a? No, we don't have a scan yet. I guess that's what we're waiting on. But look at all these tanks sieging on up here. The Spore is going to get targeted down now. It looks like the drop here on the main base side will get killed, but the 4th base of Ragnarok is just going to get tanked on the way down. Now 2-2 done in 10 seconds. Now we're going to have the army of Ragnarok. It's going to try to take the fight here. The scan will go down, so the tanks are going to try to target down as many of these Lurkers as possible. But looks like Shinny Bomb Ragnarok barely has enough to shove this back, but at what cost? Dream still in a actually no, yeah, he's gonna be forced back for the moment. But now the army of Dream on the right hand side will be able to target this base down. 3 tanks are here with the Marauders here. Oh, the Lurkers are going down as well because there's nothing left. GG Dream on a 3-kill streak. We're gonna have to see a revive from the army of BeoMulf, the team of BeoMulf. And man, there is something to be said for holding your ace player until the 3rd player. Yeah, if you do like what 3AB did and just send out Rogue and Rogue all kills, okay, yeah, that's valid. That works. But sometimes it makes sense to just hold your ringer in reserve and then you can just revive him if that is what is necessary. So we're gonna have to see exactly who gets revived here on either Romanticide or it's Romanticide or it's what's the map I'm forgetting? It's Romanticide or it is Pillars of Gold. That's the map. Who could forget Pillars of Gold? So we'll be Romanticide for map number 6 here. And who are our players? Dream, of course, but we don't have the revive. Has not been specified as of yet. Thank you, Cynical Death. I am rocking here on just about 3 hours of sleep because I had difficult. I had homework that took me late, and then I just couldn't get to sleep. So. Apologies if my brain is going a little bit slower than it normally would at, well, it's still 6 in the morning. But anyway, Solar will be the revived player on Romanticide. So we're going to have another TVZ. Solar, he's looking to force Dream to come back on his final life, looking to force this to game number 7. But Dream, he has 3 kills to his name. We're going to have to see whether he has a 4th, whether he has that all kill in his bones. As Romanticide will be our 6th map, which means game 7 will be on Pillars of Gold. And that is exciting. But now, We are loaded on in to this 6th map, Solar versus Dream. Let's get on. And spawning in the upper left, in the red for Good Game Gaming on a 3-kill streak, he is Dream. And in the bottom right, in the blue, the captain of BeoMulf for Kaizi Gaming. He is looking to salvage this series, take it to game number 7. He is Solar. And of course, from man's side, a marginally better map for the Zerg player than the last two. So that is, or the last two TVZs that we saw. It is not Light Shade, it is not Oxide, it is not Submarine, which are probably the 3 worst maps for Zerg in TVZ. Not that Light Shade or Oxide are as bad as Submarine. Oxide's a little bit worse, but Light Shade absolutely playable. But Romanticide, it's a little bit better, and actually Romanticide has probably given us some of the best games in this particular matchup that we have seen in quite a while. It's really getting that Golden Wall type aura to it, where you just get great games almost every game that gets played on it. Because of course it's kind of one of those weird maps. We get 3 bases for 3, so it encourages macro play. But on the flip side, the 4th base is kind of hard to get, and well, that makes the game a little bit more dynamic. But then once you get the 4th base, you can kind of get the 5th, and then you can get split map, and you get late game. It's a really cool base dynamic here, is how everything works out. But we're gonna have to. What I'm interested to see here, actually, from Solar is where he takes his 3rd. Now, the Europeans, they'll take that linear 3rd. Means they can knock off the rocks. Okay, no, he's just gonna take the pocket 3rd. Never mind. But anyway, now linear 3rd does allow you to spread creep into the middle of the map a little bit faster. It does allow you to knock the rocks off a little bit easier, and deny that 4th base push that the Terrans like to go a little bit easier. That being said, 3rd base totally safe here. And oh, the Reaper not going to be able to get a drone. Getting very close, but will not be able to get that. Now, Reaper will be able to get off creep in time. There we go. All right. Second gas, really quick for Dream once again. So if the previous games are anything to go by, it looks like it will be a Reaper, or excuse me, a Banshee play once again. Now, no promises, but that's what he went for in the last game. Could be some sort of Hellbat timing too. Not totally sure. Actually, this is looking a little bit more like Hellbat timing, just considering where the barracks is and where the starport is getting built, if anything. Could be, I guess it could be Hellion drops, but that's not something you see nearly as much. But look at this Solar. He realizes that he wants to make sure he knows what's happening in this game. So no, actually no, he went Overlord. No, he went Overlord speed against Ryung. Never mind. Overlord speed. Coming on in once again. There we go. There is the armory on the way. So Solar will be able to scout this, and I'm not a big fan of these Hellbat timings anymore. It feels like, well, the Zerg has 5 queens, has 7 queens, and they just kind of split the hold. But we are seeing a little bit iterations on this. Sometimes the Terran moves across the map with some Marines. That makes things work a little bit easier. Anything they can do to add a little bit of extra oomph to their play. But now, of course, Humanized Carapace, Overlord speed is done, and 4 Marines will join this Hellbat timing. So Solar will find this, but he's not going to see the armory. Actually, he's not going to see this armory yet. As now the Overlord, well, it's not really doing all that much. But now, of course, he's going to see things. He says, okay, the Overlord in the front will see everything. 3 more queens are on the way. We do have 5 queens immediately, and look at this. The Medevac's taking about half damage. Now Zergling's looking for the full-on surround here, but they're going to get shredded immediately. But now, of course, with the Medevac going down, suddenly this really shouldn't get a whole lot done. But actually, the splits from Solar were not all that great immediately. So 2 queens have died, but now the splits are just fantastic. So the Hellbat's not getting a whole lot extra done. But actually, no, an extra queen will go down, so this Hellbat attack getting a lot more than you would normally expect it to. Actually, no, he's getting drones as well, so as much as I talked about, I don't really like this. Yeah, this is actually getting a this is one of the more impactful Hellbat timings that I've seen in this matchup. Now, well, we're gonna have to see whether Dream can weather the storm of Solar now, because third base, it's on the way. It's not nearly, it's 3/4 of the way done, but that means it's gonna be a late, it's going to be a late orbital. And Solar now, he says, okay, look, I took a little bit of damage. I lost more than I should have, but I'm still in a fine spot. Double Evo Chamber on the way, and now we're going to have to see exactly what he wants to do. Last game, he played upgraded Zerglings on into Lurkers, and it was looking really good until he got torn apart by drops in the late game. We're going to have to see if that's what he wants to go for here, whether he wants to go for a little bit delayed mutas instead. We're going to have to see. Now, 1-1 is on the way, and this is far in advance of the lair. Meanwhile, Drilling Claws are on the way really quickly, 3 Widow Mines at a time, and that's actually a really nice idea against this pure Langbane style that Solar has really been going for over the last month or so. It's what he did against Maru, it's what he did against Dream in game number 1, and it is really good at holding these more aggressive Terran openers because you just have a lot of stuff. You have a lot of Banelings, a lot of Zerglings. You have upgrades that can actually contest the pushing Terran. But of course, I have to see exactly how impactful that will be, as more and more Zerglings are on the way here. Now, the Zerglings are not really in position to go for the counterattack that they were looking for earlier. But Baneling Nest is now done, and actually this is going to time up perfectly with the lair. So we should see Overlord speed get started immediately, or Baneling speed get started immediately, and it will be Spire Play coming in from Solar. So Dream, actually just getting the soul read on Solar here. The play says that if your opponent is going Hydra Lurker, or any sort of Hydra tech, you go for tanks, right? Tanks are really good against Hydras. Works out. Tanks less good against Spire Play, so you go Widowmine instead. Well, Solar, he's gone for Spire Tech in this game, as actually Dream is kind of forcing him into that because of how game 1 worked out, where Dream just dropped Solar to death, and then, well, when that happened, Solar is starting to realize that maybe against a player that wants to drop as much as this, you don't really want to go for a Hydra Lurker Viper. You want to have some ability to actually defend on the map. Now we have a drop on the right-hand side, but Solar is aware of this. It will be a Widowmine drop, which has potential to get something done here. Solar now, he's at his 80 worker number. The 14 Banelings are on the way, and he is holding gas for the time. Oh, he's going to try to go for a big counterattack. I don't think that's going to get a lot done. But anyway. Okay, these Widowmine drops actually getting nothing done here. Now, Banelings are going to bust on in through this wall, but that's Baneling speed is not done yet. That was not a interesting move there from Solar. Now, maybe he was relying on the fact that he thought Dream's armor was going to be closer to the third base, but that is not the case. But now we have 6 mutas on the way. Do we have any Banelings on the map? Okay, we have 10 Banelings on the map defensively. But now 2-2 is on the way for Dream, not so for Solar yet, and that one Widowmine undealt with, so 8 more workers do go down. Now 5th base, though, on the way here for Solar. And there we go. The Widowmine will get taken down here. But Dream, he's now pushing. He has a decent amount of Widowmines on the map. And the creep is not all that spread defending this 4th base. It buys a little bit of time here for Solar. But it's not the most incredible, as we're going to see a Trader Widowmine go off. A nice job there, but now the splits are going to be good enough. The wall, it's not really, nothing's going to happen. This run by coming in from Solar once again, not going to get anything done. Now Dream on a 20 army supply lead. And he has better upgrades. He will have better upgrades. And now he's going to come pushing on in. This 5th base should go down. At the very least, this 5th base should go on down here. Now the Zerglings, the Banelings, they're going to try to take a fight. But with the Hellbat buffer, yeah, there we go. It's just going to get canceled on in here. Where are the mutas, though? That is the question we're asking ourselves. The Zerglings, Banelings, they're going to filter on in. And it's actually, those Widowmines are going to be so bad there for the Terran player. But now Widowmines are going to burrow on into the 3rd base. 8 workers do go down. Of course, it would be more, but, well, it's just not really going to burrow where it needs to. Now we're going to see this drop coming on into the natural as well. Oh, they're going to clump on up. There we go. Okay, we'll be safe. 13 more workers do go down. 5th base getting targeted down as well, as Dream is just cutting Solar apart, and more importantly, that was a kill, not a cancel. Solar has lost a lot in this game, down 2,000 resources, which, in the context of things, not a ton, but Solar also only on 74 workers. He's not been able to get his 5th base set up, and Dream is only just now starting to push. So 2-2 is on the way. We do not have +2 attack here coming in from the Terran, or from the Zerg player here. Only armor. And of course, that is the more important upgrade of the two. But still, you do want +2 attack. More and more mutas are on the way here. And now, well, Thors are on the way. 14. How in the world is Dream getting these drops on in here when his opponent has mutas? That is just absolutely insane. But now we have the push coming on into this third base of Solar, as the fourth base has been sufficiently denied. Creep getting cleaned up on it here, as well as now the mutas for the first time. They're looking to counterattack. Banley's not really going to get a whole lot done, as these Widowmines not cleaned up. So they will be able to run on in, get something done again. 2-2 versus 1-1. Even once that +2 armor is done, it will still be 2-2 versus 1-2, so the army of Dreen is going to be more powerful. More and more Thors are getting built here, as actually we see a lot more Marauders on the way with the 8 gas possible, with the 4 base economy here, which means these Banelings are going to be a little bit less impactful. Now, I do like this from Solar. He's choosing to expand away from the Terran push, and that makes a lot of sense, but 2 more workers do go down. Widowmine drops, it's just still being powerful. And look at these pre-splits here from Dream, doing a really good job of forcing the Zerg player to fight around Doodads, which of course means the Banelings clump on up. They don't really get the engagements they're looking for. And now the mutas, everything, the mutas, the Zerglings, the Banelings, everything, they're going to try to take a fight. Of course, the Marines, they're just going to target down these Marines, and now we have a push on the left-hand side as well. 5th base will get canceled here. Yes, Solar will be able to fight back against the right-hand side for the time being. But this is a 30 army supply lead. 3-3 is halfway done. More and more Thors on the way. Very few mutas on the map. Only 10. But now we have a hive on the way. 7 more mutas on the way here. Solar just trying to take an offensive game. He has been able to get 0 damage to the Terran over the course of this game. And that is a bit of a problem when you go for this mutilating Bane style. Part of it is predicated upon this idea that you will be able to get damage done to the Terran player. And when you can't slow them down, oh, those Widowmine shot, that first Widowmine shot is going to be really nice. 1 muta will go down, the rest of them will get softened on up here. And now the Army of Dreen, it has been consolidated all on the right-hand side. Mutas are just they're not going to be able to do anything. GG Dream with the all-kill in the semifinals. Excuse me. Dream with the all-kill in this semifinals, knocking off Solar twice. He's going to take his team to the grand finals, where they will play 3AB.